You know, in the film world, one of the most difficult things is appearing in front of a camera. It's difficult to do anything in front of a camera. You have grips and electricians and lighting people and 100 people on the set all watching you, all looking at you with disinterest or various attitudes that have nothing to do with what you're doing. So you can imagine how difficult it must be for a star of pornographic films, of X-rated films, doing what they have to do in front of all these other attitudes. To find some insight into this, why don't we ask a real star of pornographic pictures? Our guest today, Kay Parker.
I like that. Real star sounds really nice to me, Professor.
Yes. Well, could you give us some insight into that? You know, with all the hammering and the disinterested activity, is it difficult for you to perform sex acts vigorously and convincingly? And
it is difficult sometimes. It really depends on the situation and the person with whom I'm doing a scene. But for me, what I do is I just adopt a couple of true blue acting techniques, and I just really connect with something in my partner and just get right into him and just forget about everything else.
What is your favorite sex act when you're performing?
My favorite way to perform sex?
Yes.
Sensually, with much love.
With feeling, once
with
again.
Feeling, absolutely. Okay. Because to me, anything else is just totally unconvincing in terms of sex. To me, goes hand in hand with sensuality, sensitivity, communication. That's just me as a person. And so for me, that has to be in a scene, a sex scene that I might perform also.
But you're required sometimes to do kinky things that are a little bit bizarre because of the needs of the public. What do you feel about that? What's the most kinky thing you've ever done in a film, for example?
Well, I think kink is in the eye of the beholder or the mind of the believer or whatever. But I've always considered myself a non-kinky person. I like just straight up, plain old good up sex. I'm not into the anal or the with apparatus or whips and changes. I mean, to me, that's not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. And so I don't choose to perform that. You know.
I see. So that's a kind of a part you would turn down.
Yeah, I'm pretty particular about the things that I do.
A question in my mind is that the state of the art, so to speak, in pornographic films is that most girls in most films are required to do at least one lesbian act.
Right.
And now, is this just kind of a professional apparatus per se, or I mean, how do you feel about that?
Depends on the person. There are a lot of ladies, I believe, in the industry who don't mind swinging both ways, and they might have their own personal, lesbian relationships. I love men. Bottom line with me, I really love men.
And you don't do parts that would require you to
I do, yes, I do
ladies?
perform lesbian scenes.
Well, that's what I mean. Do you do it with just, this is my job, professional kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
You do?
And plus, it's a sharing, the sex for me then is the acting. But usually there's a nice rapport between the lady and myself, too. That has to be there for me. But now it's like I really give my all. I'm a 100% person. And my commitment when I contract or agree to play a role is to do it, to the fullest of my ability. And if it's a sex scene, then I want it to sell as a sex scene. I want that to come across. I want the essence of the character there. I want the story. I want everything there. And so I do what I have to do in terms of my own participation.
Sex World was your first film in which
my
you
first
did
sex role.
Your first sex role. You were an actress, and Sex World was your first picture. And what I'd like to do is get inside your head for a minute and find out when you were faced with the first time, what went through your mind?
Well, that time I was fresh out of acting school. I was with an improvisational group for about a year, and I was a real gung-ho actress. So what was going through my mind was just to stay in character and give the best performance. And the adrenaline was pumping, and I was excited, and my heart was going, and it was just great fun.
You've gathered that I've been around and back a few times myself. And I'm a people lover, and I'm a people reader. And most people, I find, they want to be remembered for something. They want to have made a difference while they were here. They want to have made some sort of difference on the planet, in the world. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for having always been willing to share my heart with people. You know, no matter what situations I find myself in. And I find myself in some pretty shaky situations sometimes. The world of pornography is, or as I refer to it, adult films, is an area that's really judged very harshly by a lot of people. And I see that there are a lot of people who judge it, and I was one of them back then. So I know where that comes from. I want to be able to appeal to some of those people and say, hey, I'm a human being. I'm just a person just like you and I. I just seem to have happened to have fallen into this little niche. And I can still be, you know, a real good person and express from my heart and just, you know, do all that good stuff and be happy and have successful relationships and all that stuff, you know. It's the holding back that really ties people up. And I was there, and so I really empathize with. I love people. I love people, period. And that's my life. You know, it's like if I can't share with people, what's worth living about it?
So that's what you're about.
Yeah, definitely.
Curious, maybe humorous, but curious. You know, in the acting profession, when somebody goes out to perform, everybody says break a leg. What happens just before you go on a set of an X-rated adult film? What do they say? Anything?
Keep it up.
Well, I want to thank you, Kay Parker, for being so edifying, so informative, so provocative, and so wonderfully entertaining. Thank you very much.